Hello, this is Dread, and in today's video topic, we're going to be going over the day one update for the Werebear, the one that I made recently in one of those videos. Wait, how are you doing this, Dread? Aren't you playing a completely different build? Yes, I am. Thankfully, today, a friend of mine, AlmostPi, was season starting my Werebear, so he was nice enough to lend me some footage and some other things so that I can talk about the day one progress of this build for him. So the build is going absolutely wonderfully so far. Even with the Gardens of Rage nerf, you don't get kicked out of Werebear form that often. And overall, the damage has been great. He doesn't even have Tears of the Forest yet, so he hasn't even gotten, of course, the swipe buff, which will give him 35% more damage. Also, as well, he hasn't gotten the Throne of Ambition as well, so that's another 40% more damage. So the damage that you're seeing in this footage will probably kind of double after he gets all of those items, which is crazy. Like to even think that called out Werebear is actually going to do that much damage. So he was really nice to give me all this footage so I can show you guys today. So my thoughts on the build so far. I think the build is a really relaxed build. It's a really fun and relaxed build. You can just kind of like go through monos, watch something on the side, have some fun with friends, stuff like that. Not really have to think about it too much. Now, one thing that I want to note as well, a lot of people were asking me, Dread, when you transition from a leveling spec into Werebear? And I want to answer it now. You want to respecialize around at level 50. Why is that? Well, at level 50, you get all 5 specializations. When you get all 5 specializations, you can start this build much easier because you need all 5 of those skills for everything to function properly. You need, of course, Werebear form to make Maelstroms, and for the strength, you need to, of course, have Maelstrom because you need to do damage. You need Entangling Roots because, of course, you need to do area damage. And, of course, as well, you need Spriggan form for the rage gained on hit. So all of that combined leads into the build working perfectly, but you need to be level 50, which you'll get your 5th specialization slot, and then you're good to go. So I wanted to answer that. And for leveling, the Thorn Totem leveling apparently has done so well with a lot of different people. Everyone's been telling me the Thorn Totem leveling setup that I linked in the last video is absolutely wonderful. It was kind of an experimentation, and it seems like it's going great. It's gone so great, in fact, that some people didn't even play Werebear, and they just wanted to move into just playing Thorn Totem because they're having that much fun. So that definitely is good news. I'm really happy about that because I was a little bit worried about the overall performance of that. Now, one thing I'd like to note as well, I'm sorry on behalf of EHG as well that everyone's been having so many problems getting into the actual servers themselves. It's been a wild ride, a lot of VPN stuff, a lot of queue stuff, and it feels really bad for the game launch like this to perform this poorly. But to be honest, everything's working now. We're all good to go. I'm really happy now with the performance. In game, most zones are not laggy at all. Like it's wonderful in terms of actual performance, like in game. So I'm really proud of them. They did a really good job. Last Epoch hit 30K people on Steam the other day at most, which is amazing. And right now it's like at 18K. This is like more people that have played Last Epoch in a very long time. I don't think Last Epoch has seen more than this many people playing it. There's like so many people streaming on Twitch, on YouTube. This has been my best performing like few days ever as well. Also, so another thing I want to mention, this is I think the 3-year anniversary of this YouTube channel. We have been making content on this YouTube channel for 3 years now. Can you imagine that? Like we finally hit our 3rd birthday. But with all that being said, that's enough talk. In this next section where Mr. AlmostPi, he's going to go over all of his gear, his skills, and his idols and his gearing for you in game. I asked him to record it for me, so have fun with that. Also, as I was sorry for the quality of this video, it's being recorded over Discord, which I can't really do anything about, sadly. So, with all that being said, this has been Dread. Off to go work on something else. Go talk to Pi. Hi.
Okay, so we'll do skills first then. Alright, so let's do, alright, so skills first. Werebear, pretty standard. Invigoration is a lot more important with the changes to Garden of Rage. This is a lot of your rage sustain and monoliths, as well as when you're swiping on bosses, and it makes it feel much better once you get these points. The 5th point that used to be here is now an Enrage, just for a little bit more rage gen. Could put this in Endurance if you want, it's going to be pretty similar. Make sure you get your Entangling Roots, get your cooldown, get your Maelstrom stacks here, and your spell damage per strength. With Maelstrom, make sure you get your haste and your frenzy. Damage nodes, duration, damage double to 60 attunement, pretty standard 20 points here. Warcry, make sure you get your cooldown reduction, get your Maelstrom stacks, get your cold damage. This node is a little bit experimental for when we do the swipe transition and trying it out. Also thinking of getting some plus to Warcry to get towards Fury Strikes for more attack speed. Spriggan form, I've been liking the ranged Hunter's Bane ones for consistency, as well as since we're up here, getting the free Frostbite proc from the Vines. Otherwise, getting your armor buff and getting your Gardens of Rage. This will eventually be replaced with Swipe for single target on bosses, theoretically at least, once we get the Amulet and we want to go into more endgame content. And then Entangling Roots, get your Circle, get your Vines. I like 2 points in Immobilize, but this is personal preference. Currently testing out trying Ice Shard Roots for a little bit of extra Frostbite chance with the Poison chance here. For a little bit of extra damage and freeze while clearing. Monoliths, which has been pretty nice, but not too impactful. This could easily just be here for the Roots damage over time. Alright, now for passives. Pretty standard on the base, just get stats and life. And go into Druid. The first 40 points in here, I do the strength later, but just get your damage all transformed, stats, focused wrath for rage. This is your Thicket of Thorns setup for extra % armor, which is really strong. I highly recommend this node if you're just playing casually and don't want to worry about it. It's 1 point. You can take it out of, I would take it out of Primordial Resonance personally, and just get here and you don't have to worry about it. You'll stay in bear form longer. I personally don't take the node just because I don't mind hopping back into human form and refreshing my buffs. Get your cold pen, get your attunement here. Make sure you put at least 8 points in here so you can get your crit avoidance. And then my next couple points are going to end up going into aspects of might for more strength scaling and into impervious for survivability. And again, this is going to be for the swipe setup. Shaman, attunement penetration, just really efficient 8 points. Beastmaster is just the Beastmaster aspect of the Vortex with some strength and tankiness thrown in. We're taking these 2 points for aspect of the Shark for the swipe setup. Otherwise, these points can go, and maybe 1 point from here can go into life. And then for day 1 gear, idols focus on aspect of the boar, resistances, life, vitality, damage over time, resistances while transformed, stuff like that. The more of your resists and defenses you can put in your idols, the more room you have for offensive stats in the rest of your gear. Atrophies are really solid. Use the Avarice Gloves with Leech until you get to that point. These things from the campaign, they'll carry you until you get the Leech node from Araya in the Black Sun. This is the best item I've got so far. Just finished crafting this. The new % health bases for Primalist are very, very good. Highly recommend them, especially with a build like Werebear where you're going to have a lot of health anyway. Other than that, make sure you get your 60 attunement. Increased elemental damage over time on weapons, amulets, rings, belt. And I think, yeah, on Relic as well can have it. Are just excellent high value stats. Attunement, strength, resists, and life, whatever else you need here. You can get cooldown on belt and boots now. You can get area on amulet, and I think gloves, but I'm not sure. And then otherwise atrophy is pretty easy to farm. I got lucky with the 2LP pair with some decent bonus stats on it for now. And yeah, otherwise mostly just kind of filler rares, and we're still progressing, so it's been going well.